There we go. There we go. Yeah, so it was pretty wild. I'm happy to be on this side of it, although there's all sorts of collateral damage everywhere if you're driving around town anywhere. Downed trees and all sorts of mudslide stuff. It's pretty impressive actually.
Kimberly, all I care about is how's Elvis?
Elvis, we drove by him yesterday to make sure he was okay. So Elvis is a camel that lives in our neighborhood. And Reagan didn't believe me. So when he was here, I'm like, I'm going to take you to see Elvis. And he's like, okay. And I was like, no, really, it's Elvis. And behind Elvis is a buffalo. So the buffalo, I don't know the buffalo's name, but Elvis is the single hump camel. And then there's a single hump buffalo. Turns out I don't remember how you call them, the humps. I don't remember gosh, I'm going to lose my mind over it. Anyway, Elvis is fine. We saw him yesterday. He's boding well. He's doing
Good.
fine. I know,
Good to
right?
hear.
That's cute. All right. Well, let's get rolling because we have some good stuff to talk about today. I'm very excited for what we're going to chat about today. But before we get there, let's just talk about things we're grateful for. Anybody grateful for anything? Anything at all?
I'm grateful for our short vacation we did in the Black Hills. It's our favorite place to be. So if
Your pictures were unbelievable.
Yeah, we liked it so much. We rented a house there for a month next summer.
Oh my gosh, good for you. Oh, that's super cool. Congratulations. And I'm happy for your happiness and your gratitude because your pictures were awesome. I vicariously lived through you. So I love that. That's fun. Who else is thankful for something? Tell me something good, right? I feel like we should just break
Kimberly?
out. Yes, sir.
I continue to be grateful for the people in my life. And that includes everyone on this call. But just generally, and I know that sounds like a broad stroke, but we have Tony and I have a lot of things going on in our lives right now, all good, but it's all coming together. And it's due to a network of people and friends and family and colleagues and opportunities. And I'm just so grateful for that because it's been years, and Kimberly knows, years in the making.
Yeah.
So it's fun to see all the intersections collide in a really beautiful way.
You know what's cool about that too is, and I thank you for sharing that because you are reminding me that we should do something more frequently than we probably do. And that's to look backwards and see all the people who kind of wove our fabric together.
For sure.
And, and then in like the places that we've been able to contribute to people's lives, like there is something really honorable and honoring to know that you got to be a part of somebody's like metamorphosis into who they are now. Right. So yeah, that's awesome. I don't think it's ever too broad of a stroke to be grateful for the people in your life. I think we should spend more time there.
And Kimberly, what's interesting in this reflection as of late, some of that reflection is the people that are no longer in our world. There's not many of them that at the time it felt devastating. At the time it felt unexplainable. At the time it just didn't make any sense and it hurt like hell. And now you realize all of that plays a part to Kimberly's analogy, the fabric, part of the weave, right? I mean, it's all part of that structure that makes it what it is today. So it's interesting to have gratitude for all the good, the bad, the ugly, all the stuff.
You might not have the same warm fuzzies over the bad part because it reminds you of the scar, right? Because none of us gets out of this life unmarred, but it nonetheless, I think we can be grateful for having the wisdom to separate maybe from people that are not healthy in our lives, right? Or that they played a pivotal role in being the catalyst to make you go in this direction. I mean, I think there's some of that too, right?
That's it for us. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, that's awesome. Thanks for sharing. Anybody else grateful for anything? I will share that I'm grateful for a few things actually today. We have some friends that we've been friends with for a really long time, and our lives had such a hard time connecting, like getting in the crosshairs of each other, but we've loved each other a lot. And then we were kind of reunited last, I guess, early this spring. And it was like, oh my gosh, this is so great. Now we can just get it together. Well, of course, they decide that before we reconnected, so it's not my fault. I'm just putting that out there. They decided to move to Alabama. And so now we have like Zoom happy hours. So we stay connected, and then they're here visiting this weekend and into this week a little bit. We get to spend some time. So we've been laughing that they lived literally 4 miles from us, and we see them more now that they're in Alabama, but it's about that being intentional piece of it. And so I'm super thankful for friends and family and just being able to be part of that kind of that canvas that we're talking about, Reagan, right? That we have a lot of really awesome memories together. We just don't have enough of them consistently. And so we're grateful to be able to reunite that relationship this past year and really dive in and build a relationship with them. So yeah, thankful for that. All right, anybody else? There has to be something good that's happened. Go, hit me.
Grateful for old friends. We had dinner last night, Tara and I, with some friends of ours. I originally met him in 4th grade when I first moved to Arizona, and then
Oh my gosh.
we ended up going to high school together. So Tara and I met him in high school, and then we reunited in grad school. He was a med student and his wife was in law school at U of A, and they were kind of our friends we hung out with the most. And then they moved off to California, where he had to do his residency at UCLA. And then that was over 30 years ago. And although we've seen him once at a reunion since then, we haven't seen her, because I think it was maybe because it was pre-cell phone. Like, I don't know why we didn't keep in touch with him, because we were so close to him. And so it literally felt like we hadn't skipped a beat last night, spent like 4 hours with them, and we're finally like, oh, we got to go home. And so just kind of fun to reconnect with people and have it feel like it was yesterday. And other than the fact that he's now a Lakers fan, I'm not struggling with anything like that. But he's from Philly too, so him and his family are Eagles fans. So it's we also have that connection.
Oh, that's super fun. It's so both my husband Kelly and I, our parents were like, his parents were married like 60 something years before she passed away. My mom and dad were married 50 years before my dad passed away. And both of them have sets of friends that are like from their 20s, and they stayed friends this whole time. And Kelly and I figured out that that's part of, like, in your old age, what really gives you joy. Not that you're old, Todd, but I'm just saying you're on the right track, right? Reagan, you're on the right track. We're doing the right things to be connected to people and really evaluate like who's in your life. And knowing their value and recognizing like what an honor it is to have relationships that are 20, 30, 40 year friend. Like, that's a big deal. And, I think when we look forward down another 20 years down the road, I think these 20 years are really going to matter in terms of who's in your life and how you spend your time and the gift that really is. I think I know I sound really old right now. Gosh, I need to start this over, but I'm super grateful for that, because I recognize the value in long-term relationships. Like, there's some people that I've known for 2 or 3 years that I love deeply, and I can't wait to say, gosh, we have a 20-year friendship. I think there's something, I think we're meant for community, which is why we do Lions and Legends, honestly, is right. Building this community. None of us are doing this by ourselves. Nobody gets out alive. We're all going to die. There's a lot that happens between now and that date, right? And so we just have to make the most and the best of it. So that's awesome. Good for you. Anybody else? Before I do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Pamela, are you like giving me the high sign?
Well, I'm grateful that I'm able to join this call. I'm a first timer.
Yay.
On Work Vivo, so I'm excited to connect with new peers, and thank you for inviting me in.
Yay. Happy to have you. Super fun. Mario, I think this is your second or third one too, so it's nice to see your face as well. It's good when especially for those of you that are, I think everybody on here is real. But when you have a virtual brokerage, it's sometimes easy to feel really isolated. Frankly, when you have a brick and mortar brokerage, it's easy to feel isolated. So I think it's kind of funny that people are like, oh, but I need the office space. Well, you never go in. So it's hilarious to me. But I think there's something to be said about connecting and making sure that we're, that we see each other's faces and then we get to know each other. I think that's really important. We can help each other and grow. So I'm happy that you're both here today. Super good. Okay. Anybody else? Mario, you got something to say?
No, just glad to be here.
Happy to have you. Super fun. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're officially unthankful now. Mr. Bookspan, as our lender person and like extraordinaire finance guy, do you have something that you want to share with us that you think that we should know?
Well, mortgages are still boring, but I still get to talk about them.
But you're not
the only thing
boring.
I've
That's
seen
the most
lately is
important part.
well, thank you. I appreciate that. The only thing that I'm just trying to dispel some myths I'm seeing about the government shutdown and mortgages. It's really only impacting flood insurance, which doesn't impact much of us in Arizona, and then USDA, which we do like one every couple of years. So, but I heard someone thought that FHA was shut down. It's not. I mean, so a lot of this stuff is kind of fluid as stuff that comes in and out of availability. It really just affects the people potentially who aren't getting paid because they're trying to go through, government workers who may or may not still be working and getting paid. So if you have a government worker, I think that's just the one piece that's a little bit fluid. Right now, we're funding loans for those folks, even though they don't technically they're not employed, but we know that they will be employed at some point. So, so obviously, you have people who are government employees, lenders take that approach. But other than that, for me, anyone who has questions about loans and doesn't know enough about them or wants to know about them or feels like they're interesting and wants to tell me why, I'm open for conversation. So just reach out.
Awesome. Would you do me a favor, Todd, and put your contact info in the chat so that if somebody needs to reach out to you, they can?
I would love to do that. I will stick it in there in just a
He's a
moment.
good chatterer. I love it. Thank you. Andrea from Title is not here today, but if you need any support in your business planning, your marketing, that sort of thing, they're very good consultants. And so I would just encourage you to reach out to Andrea also. And she'll be back next week for sure. Thanks, Todd. I appreciate that. Hey, I want to, we have 45 minutes left or 40. Yep, exactly 45. And Reagan and I have been talking a lot over the last few, weeks, days, months, years, whatever. Both of us carry a big passion for helping agents get from here to here. And so he's launching today a 2-part series in your mindset for what you need for 2026 and then what you need practically in your business. And so I'm going to encourage you guys to get your pad and paper out. Like I'm starting a new one. I have 4 of these filled out from Lions and Legends meetings because I take ridiculous notes. But I would really encourage you to take some notes. He's going to give you an assignment we're going to load up into the chat. And so we're going to want to make sure that before you bounce out of here, you grab the homework for next week, because that will make next week make more sense. And so before I give it all away, my super good friend Reagan is going to school us today. So very happy to have you, Reagan. Thanks for being with us today. Appreciate you.
It's always a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Any day, man.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. So as Kimberly alluded to, we're going to start talking about 2026. So this is what's important about now, today. It's October 13th. We're in the 4th quarter, and we are already working, whether we realize it or not, we're already working on our Q1 business, because just throw some numbers out there. How many days on market are we now in the Arizona area, in your particular area? Just give me some ballparks.
How many what?
How many days on market, Kimberly, like for a house? Like
Yeah.
what? Can you give me a ballpark? Are we 50? What are y'all tracking?
Well, Susan's probably the guru on this because she's the queen of stats, but I'm going to say we're between like 125 and 150.
Okay.
Be my guess for average days on market.
Okay, cool.
Valley wide.
Okay. So guys, with those numbers, can you see how we're already working on Q1, right? If you got a listing today, it likely would not go off the market until January. So we want to be thinking today. And these are all actionable things that we're going to talk about this week and next week that you can start implementing that will help you today, which today is going to help you for Q1. So many agents make the mistake. We like to say it at Rethink Coaching. The first sign of a pumpkin, realtors get realtorella. We call it realtorella. And when a realtor sees a pumpkin, they say, it's the holidays. I'm good. I'm on coast. I'm on coast. And then we're going to hit it hard in January. What's the only direction you can coast?
Down.
Yes, Susan, downhill. That's the only way to coast. So we're not coasting. We're not that group. Kimberly and I, our goal, our passion is to position you where you're not only not coasting, but you're soaring. We're going to our trajectory's uphill so that when Q1 comes, we're killing it. We're going to kill your 2026. How many of you with the raise of hands would agree that this year's been challenging? This year's been different. Like all the words, whatever we want to call it. I've heard it's been bad. It's been this, all the things. Okay. Yeah, we're all in agreement there. I'm going to share my slides real quick because we're going to jump into this presentation. All right, guys, can everyone see that okay? Can y'all see my slides good?
Yeah, it's not in presentation mode.
Well,
We can see on the side also. Are you in, yeah, there you go.
let's see. How can I
Go
I don't want
present
to
it
do,
to-
huh?
Go left, young man. There you go. Bing.
I know I don't want slideshow. Is that better?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Cool. Okay. So, guys, today I came up with a really fun little acronym called SHAPE. And we're reshaping your mindset today because would you think it's fair that in this market, it's important to have a great mindset, that your mindset is in the best shape that it can be in? And I'm not just talking about woo-woo, positive thinking. I'm talking about I'm going to give you a 5-step plan that's going to help you grow, protect, grow, and really cultivate your mindset. Let's get a little housekeeping. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Reagan Nickelson. I'm with Rethink Coaching. I'm a thought strategy coach. I help entrepreneurs and business owners just like you think differently. I like to say I help you think about what you're thinking about. I know that sounds crazy, but we get out of the box, out of the norm of how we're thinking, and we're going to do that today. I'm also a realtor. I'm licensed in Texas, California, and New Mexico. I still actively am in production and on a team in New Mexico, in Santa Fe. I'm a speaker. I'm an entrepreneur. So, guys, I'm in the trenches with you. So, I see this every day. I'm coaching agents nationwide. I'm in the trenches in the production world, and we're all feeling some of the same struggles right now. So let's think about this. I want to just give a good old-fashioned definition of what mindset is. It's the established set of attitudes and beliefs that shape how you think, feel, and behave. It influences your perception of challenges. That's highlighted. I'm going to come back there. Your approach to learning and your response to setbacks. Guys, perception of challenge, response to setbacks. Why is that important? Why is your perception of a challenge important when we think of mindset? Think about it this way. How you perceive a challenge and how you approach its solution is your mindset. That's going to change the world. So think about agents. Let's think about brokers, agents this past year and this year, 2025, that are saying, oh, it's been a bad year. We're not selling anything. How do you think they're perceiving and they're approaching their challenges? Are they throwing their hands up and saying, yo, this is too hard? Nobody's buying and selling real estate. I'm just going to sit back. And what is that getting them? That's getting them exactly what they're looking for, what they go looking for. So I want you to start thinking about this differently. I said this isn't just positive thinking. This isn't just woo-woo. We're going to get a good mindset. We're going to attract all the business to us. No. This is about getting right in your mind and then going out and doing the actions that get you the business. So that's what this 2-part is. But part 1 today, we're really going to focus on getting right in your mind, because guys, without your mind, without your GPS set right, Where do you think you're going to go if it's not?
Nowhere.
Nowhere. Well, nowhere good. So I want you to start thinking a little differently. Think of mindset as energy. Think of mindset as energy that needs fuel. Does, like, let's say we're a car, right? And the mindset is our fuel, right? We go to the gas station. Kimberly, what happens when you put low grade gas into Rosie? And I never realized that you were so adamant about that, but I learned that about you. But what if we put cheap gas into Rosie? What is she likely to do?
Rosie, the Range Rover, will be very sad. Like, she will slug along. She will not, when you hit the accelerator, she will stutter, and
That's right.
she can't get off the mark.
Ping,
And then,
ping, and
yeah,
bing, and stutter and
yeah,
cuts.
no
She's not
bueno.
going to be at her optimal performance, is she?
No.
But what is it when we put premium fuel in? When we put premium thoughts into our brain, what happens then, Kimberly?
I can count on it. Number one, I don't have to
Yes.
worry that there's going to be something that's stagnant, right? Or that it hesitates. Yeah, I think it becomes very reliable.
Nice, nice, absolutely. So the question right now, team, what type of fuel will you power your mindset with in 2026? What are you going to put into your mind? Because what we put into our mind is our fuel for our mindset, and our mindset transforms and energizes our actions. I love this quote. Maya Angelou, if you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude toward it. Guys, how many of you think you got control over the economy in 2026, the housing market in 2026? Show of hands, you're in control of that.
Yeah.
How
I just
many
had a
of you actually
conversation.
know you have no control over it?
Yeah, there it is.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
There's magic in that statement, and we're going to dive deeper into that. But hold on to that possibility and that opportunity. All right. Before we jump in to our 5-step, I want everyone to start thinking about your current mindset, how you're thinking about the world. How are you approaching your challenges? What is your perception of this economy, this market, this housing market, the real estate world? How would you rate your mindset? How do you see yourself? 1 to 4, fixed mindset, resistant to challenges, fear of failure. Are you in that mid-range, 5 to 7? This is on a scale of 1 to 10, by the way, guys. 5 to 7, mixed mindset, some positive attributes, but also limitations. Are you in that 8 to 10? Your mindset, your growth, you're in a growth mindset. You embrace challenges. You see opportunities versus seeing the doom and gloom. You don't have to share this, but I want you to think about it. Where are you in this? Kimberly.
Well, when I read the first part, I'm like, oh, there's some of that for me. And then I read 5 through 7, there's some of that for me. And then 8 through 10, there's a lot of that for me, right? So I think there's kind of this play. I had a conversation with an agent this morning, and her exact words were, I don't know how to advise clients in this market. I'm out of my depth. And she's been in the market in real estate in Arizona for 23 years.
Mm-hmm.
So as many weird cycles as we have seen, we haven't really experienced a marketplace that has all of these economic dynamics. And
That's
so
right. Yep.
if you guys
Fair
are
enough.
seeing yourself as 1 through 4 or 5 and 7 or 8 and 10 or some of all of it, I don't think I'm abnormal I think I'm abnormal in a lot of ways. But I think I'm pretty normal.
That's another show.
Yeah,
Kimberly.
that's a whole nother series that we'll start on after your 2-week show.
Yeah.
But I think I think it's legitimate to say, hey, I think we can all feel a little bit of that. We might have a higher tendency for one, but as I read it, if I'm going to be completely transparent, I was like, oh yeah, there's some things that my own insecurities. I have a little bit of that fear of failure. I don't like that. I don't like to be wrong. So I work really hard not to be wrong. Right. But this is just such a weirdo market. And there's so many weird influences, and you have all these economists that are saying different things. So it's hard to know like where to cast your, hooks to hang on. Yeah. And then the mixed mindset piece is like, yeah, I'm still really optimistic, but I also think that we're limited by some things that we don't have any control over. And then I'm the eternal optimist. So I'm like, oh, we'll get through it. It'll be fine. We'll just forge for it. So I feel like
that's it.
A little schizophrenic.
Well, Kimberly, you're right on track because I feel the same way. And most of you may, that we're pivoting daily, like momentarily between this. You may wake up 1 hour and feel like an 8 to 10, and then in the next hour, something catapults you into a 1 to 4. Nothing's gone wrong, guys. Here's what we know about mindset. It is ever changing. It's being ever influenced. And what I want you to learn from the lessons today is it's like going to the mindset gym. What do you do when you want to build muscle on your body? You go train on a regular basis, correct? So it's the same idea. Guys, this is a process, not an event. Today's not the day you're going to get right with your mindset and it's going to be one and done and check. I'm sorry. I wish I could offer that to you. It's a daily reminder. It's a daily practice. I want you to think of this as a daily practice. And these 5 steps that I'm about to share with you are going to give you that pathway to help you with that. So when you struggle, when you have something that comes up against or challenges your mindset, you'll be ready for it. So team, why does this even matter? Why does mindset matter? It matters because your thoughts become your reality. Guys, we have 80 something thousand thoughts a day. Guess how many of them are negative? 80%.
Most.
Most.
Yeah.
Yes, Todd, 80%. 80% of our 80,000 thoughts are negative. So we are wired to find the negative stuff naturally. Nothing's gone wrong. But what I want us to do is to learn how to focus on that 20. 20% of those thoughts are positive. And we find what we look for. So let's go looking for those. So that's the intentionality. That's the practice on a moment to moment, hour by hour, day by day, that we have to train our mind to find those 20% and to really double down on that. Do y'all know this guy? This is the guy that looks like he's like, yes, he's succeeding. I'm going to ask y'all 2 questions. Have you known someone who had a good year in a bad market? How many of y'all have known someone that had a good year in what everyone's calling a bad market? I have. Have you known someone who had a bad year in a good market? How many of y'all knew agents in the pandemic that were like, God, this is hard. I haven't sold a house. Meanwhile, I see agents that couldn't close. They were closing deals on the hood of cars, like in the moment. Like, I mean, it was crazy. But would y'all agree that those 2 statements y'all would say are true?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what I know. You find what you go looking for. Simply said, I don't care what the market looks like. I don't care if it's perceived good, bad, indifferent, balance, buyer market, seller market, who the president is. I don't care. The reality is you can find what you go looking for. That, my friend, is the essence of mindset. That's the only thing that differentiates the guy that had a good year in a bad market or the guy that had a bad year in a good market. Their mindset, their mindset got in their way, and the other one, the mindset led them to their victory. What do you think influences your thoughts? What do you think influences our thoughts?
I think it's largely like what we're exposing ourselves to.
For
like
sure.
what are we reading? Who are we talking to?
Yeah, for sure. Would it be safe to say, Kimberly, that everything influences your thoughts?
Yeah.
I don't care. Every conversation, every podcast, everything you see on TV, everything you hear, read, experience.
I think sometimes it's the interruptions too, honestly. Like if we surround ourselves with people who all think like we think, and then we accidentally happen upon someone who thinks differently, like that can be like it's a thought interrupter, right? Like makes us go, oh, wait a minute, wait, what? I didn't look at it like that. And I think sometimes those can be really pivotal moments. But I think we like our little cocoon. We like to be safe in what we know. And so we don't necessarily seek out someone who doesn't think like we think, or who And I think we have our insecurities that say, oh, he's or she's doing, 10x what my very best year was. She does that in her sleep. So now I'm
Yep.
intimidated because now I just look dumb instead of going, gosh, what does she know that I don't know? And pursuing it. Like, I think we get in our own way.
Of course.
We have
yes.
all these influences, and then we filter them, and we filter them through to your point, our perspective, right? And we go, oh, well, I don't know these things. I can't do that.
Yeah.
They do this. They had this opportunity. I don't have that opportunity. And we just believe all these ridiculous lies that get in the way.
And Kimberly, we when I say we find what we go looking for, we go and gather evidence. And
Yep.
we gather that evidence by getting it from people that think like us. Now, that can be a beautiful thing. And we're going to talk about that on the next slide or so. If you're gathering evidence to support something really amazing that's going to grow you, that's going to grow you even bigger. But if I'm looking to prove that this is a really crappy market and there's no agent selling real estate in this market, I'm going to be the guy at the water cooler looking for those people. Kimberly, do you believe that this market sucks and no one's selling any business?
Right.
And if Kimberly goes, no, I've had the best year ever. Next, I'm going to go. You're out.
You go away. Yeah.
You go away. You're next. Hey, John, what do you think? Hey, Todd, do you agree with me? And until I find that person, but that's what we want to be aware of. So let's don't jump too far ahead. So here's my clever little acronym, SHAPE. Are you ready to reshape your mindset? All right. So we're going to go through 5 steps: secure, hone, acknowledge, pursue, and empower. Let's get in shape. Step 1, team, secure your energy. Remember, our energy is our fuel. Energy equals fuel. So we're going to secure, we're going to protect. It is our most valuable asset. Our mind. We're protecting what goes into our mind. Our subconscious records everything you hear, you read, you just glance over and see. Everything. This is why children misunderstand situations as children. They see their parents, they say they were fighting, but if in reality they could go back, they were talking about something. It wasn't about them, but you make it mean something. So everything we experience, see, hear, our subconscious records, and then we act on it. So protect your input. Guys, this means do you watch the news? How many of you just turn the news on? We've been conditionalized as human beings, and in our American society, we wake up and what's the first thing we do? The majority of us, may not apply to everyone on this call, they turn the news on. We start getting ready to the news because it's all good news. That's me being sarcastic. Right? Be careful. We got to protect our most valuable asset, social media. What is the algorithm feeding you? Repeatedly. And the more you go on one thing, it just feeds and feeds and feeds. So we want to protect our input at all cost. So how do we do that? We set boundaries. You got to set boundaries with yourself. How are you going to consume your news? Guys, I'm not saying I don't watch the news. I don't read the news. I don't even consume the news. That's my personal choice. If you're going to get your news, I suggest you read it from a reputable source. Read it. Did y'all hear that? Because you're in control of what you read. No one can make you read something except you. But I want you to control the narrative of how you're consuming information. What does it look like on social media? Are you tossed down deep into reels that are feeding you political propaganda, feeding you the economy? Because I will tell you this, if you're listening to stuff that says the economy sucks, you might as well go crawl in a hole and your business is going to suffer. What do you think your outcome is going to be as a realtor, as an agent, as a broker?
Yep.
Right? So it can't help but affect you. So set your boundaries. Set your boundaries with yourself. Set your boundaries with people around you. And guys, we have to do this with our family. Our family members are some of the biggest offenders. And I'm not just talking within business, guys. This can be applied to protecting your personal space, your personal mindset. It all affects each other. So set those boundaries. If you are related to a toxic human being, you may not be able to exit them out of your life, but you can monitor and control how much interface you have with them, right? Okay. Energy leaks. Where might you have energy leaks when you're securing the fortress? When you're securing what's coming in? Where could you have some energy leaks? Any thoughts?
Well, you talked about the water cooler.
Yeah, people.
I think that's a trap, right? So
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
our
People
energy
gather at the water cooler, and think about a water cooler. It could be a group you're involved in. A water cooler could be the metaphor. We're talking like old school. You used to go to your office, and Kimberly and I would meet at the water cooler and gossip.
Yep.
But it could be a community you're a part of in social media. What if
Yep.
this group was all negative? Could be, right? We're
Bite your
not.
tongue, Reagan
We're
Nickelson.
not. But think about it. If
Yeah.
you don't think there's groups of people that get together on Zoom calls and commiserate and bitch,
Yeah.
I got news for you. So energy leaks look like people mainly. I like to call them little energy vampires.
Well, it's that, and I think it's if we just throw social media back on the platform for a second, it's very easy. I don't know about you, but it's very easy for me to go down a bunny trail. Like you read something, you're like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't think of it like that. And then you dig into the comments of what everybody is having to say about that particular thing. It's so fast. I mean, it goes like lightning speed to go from something neutral or optimistic to the negative. And I think that's a strong energy leak. Right. That
Absolutely.
just, you can feel, to your point about vampires, you can feel it getting just sucked right out of you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then I have what I call my 5 people rule. You are the sum of the 5 people you most allow to influence you. Who is on your front row? Think of your life as a big auditorium. Who's on your front row? Who is influencing you, and who are you influencing? Guys, get really clear of who you're getting information from, because when Kimberly and I go down rabbit holes together, we're full of opportunities, motivation, what's next, where are we going, what can we do new, how can we give value, how do we grow? That's the meat of all of our conversations. What do you think how do you think I feel when I leave a conversation with Kimberly? I want to go conquer the world, because she's like premium unleaded fuel that I've just pumped in to my mind. That's the energy, guys. That's the fuel I'm talking about. Protect your energy, protect your potential. All right. And guys, I know we're kind of going to get tight on time, so I'm going to roll through these. Step 2, hone your vision. Guys, if you don't know why you're doing all this stuff, then hang it up, because nothing will motivate you enough. This call will not motivate you enough. I will not motivate you enough to keep going when the day gets tough, when things get challenging. You got to get crystal clear where you're going, what's your vision, why you're doing it, what are your core values. If, for Kimberly and I know we share several, like fun, flexibility, freedom. If it's not fun, I don't do it. I don't do it. And I'm not talking about playing golf. That's fun too. And I do that. But if I want to do a collaboration with Kimberly, if it's not fun, I'm not doing it. So I look for opportunities and things that in my business that are fun for me, that create flexibility, freedom, whatever your core value. And you might ask, how do you discover all of this? You do it through think time. I want you to commit to giving yourself 15, 30 minutes a day to think. Think about what you're thinking about. Mr. Thought Leader here, thought strategist. I want you to think about what you're thinking about. Think about what you need to get crystal clear on. What's your vision? Why are you doing this? Is it for your kids? Is it for your family? Maybe it's just to leave a mark on the world. I don't know. That's individual. Those are the things that will motivate you ultimately and keep you engaged. when times get tough. Vision creates direction, and your direction shapes your destiny. Guys, if you don't have a vision, you're going to be lost. All right, step 3, acknowledge change. Acknowledge that change is inevitable. Change is coming. Life is change. I want you to think about this, guys. If I were to have you stand up in an imaginary, you don't have to really stand up, but stand up and draw an imaginary circle around your feet. Just see that circle around your feet. Everything inside that circle is in your control. That's your thoughts, your actions, your words. And everything outside that circle is what? Out of your control.
Yeah.
That's everything else, guys. That's everything. Like, that's the majority of things. That's everything but you. So you have to know that the world's going to be coming at you and you're not in control of it. The knowing, that's what I talk about, the knowing. Know that that is coming. I woke up today and I think, oh, I think of the pivot. Kimberly and I talk about this a lot. When you get good at pivoting, that is a skill that will serve you so well. And what do I mean by pivot? Your day is full of pivots. How many of your days go exactly the way you planned?
Yeah.
How many of you have the knowing, you're acknowledging that change is inevitable hour to hour. And if you don't become flexible and pivot, your mood's going to change. Your mindset's going to change. And why this is so important, when something pivots on me, I go, there you are. There you are. Pivot. Internet goes down, pivoting the call. Can't get my slides to work, pivoting the teaching. Don't get mad. Just pivot. Kimberly.
Yeah, I'm when I listen to this and I think about knowing, and then I think about the pivot, I also think about super high level competitive athletes. And they believe that they control, if we're talking about that circle, my control circle, that circle is my skills, my training, my ability. I can count on my body to do what I need my body to do. And I control everything in there. Then if I just use a runner, for instance, when I start running and I encounter uneven ground and I turn my ankle, no longer in my circle of things I thought I controlled do I control. Because if I control my body as an athlete and then I twist my ankle, there was some sort of fracture there. No pun intended on the ankle part, but I mean, there's some sort of fracture in my control. And so there is a knowing, like I know what I can count on my body for because I've trained it, I've studied, I've done the hard work, right? I've sacrificed. I think if we make that parallel to our businesses, how well are we like rehearsed? How much training, how much practice have we done? And the knowing, so that if I'm out running and I twist my ankle, I can revert back to the knowing. I know what I need to do right now. I know that if I'm going to go on to, as a cyclist, do Tour de France, I can't have a broken ankle. Yep. So in my running or my prep for that, now I have knowing that says, okay, pull back and regroup and figure out how to preserve my knowing so that I can then go on to achieve what I'm aiming for. And I think if we look at it from an athlete's perspective, right? Whether you're an athlete or have ever been one, everybody has watched somebody race. If you just watch, the Olympics once in your life, you can see the level of dedication that they have to their craft and their art. And it makes me go back, and I'm terrible with names. If I don't really know you, I don't really know you. So this guy that had only ever swam in a pool, who made it from some little unknown country, and he was in the race. I don't even know who won the race, but all eyes were on this guy who'd never swam more than a backyard swimming pool. And everybody was lapping him, and the whole place erupts because he made it, right? Like he lost dead last, a horrible lose, like in terms of competitive stats, right? But it was that he didn't know what he didn't know, but he went in confident knowing I can do this. And so
Right.
he achieves this thing. So I think sometimes when we're walking through our business mind, sometimes we don't have as much knowing as we should have.
Yes.
And therefore, we actually don't know what to do in a pivot because we can't lean back into the knowing. And
Yep.
so we're pivoting and we're pivoting aimlessly. We're
Yep.
shotgun approach. I'm going to try everything, right? Like everybody that calls you and says you need to buy this thing because it's going to make your business tenfold. And you go, okay. And then you hang up and someone else calls and you go, okay. And you just kind of do that because you don't know, you don't have enough knowing to be able to effectively pivot. And so I think we get paralyzed in the pivot because either we don't have enough knowing or we're damaged in some way that we get halted and we don't have the ability to make that. So it is a mindset. I'm kind of talking in a weird circle.
Kimberly, I love that. And the knowing helps you to control the narrative of how you react to a world you have no control over. Right. So what we have control over is our reaction to the world, the reaction to the uncontrollables. But to Kim's point, when your knowing gets stronger, when your pivot options become stronger, right? Then that's not as scary.
Yeah.
So I love that, Kimberly. I love that take on it. So guys, not acknowledge your change. Acknowledging change isn't weakness. It's wisdom. You can pivot, you can evolve, and you can learn. And that's really what we're after here. Guys, this isn't perfection. This is the practice. And to Kim's point, you may fumble it the first time when you pivot, but you're going to get better and better at it. So I'm going to encourage you just to keep doing. Doing is always the key. All right, step 4, pursue growth. Guys, what is your growth plan for 2026? And when I mean growth plan, you know, we talk about business plans, and we're going to talk about that at the end of this presentation for next week. But what's your growth plan? What are you committed to? Part of my growth plan this year was to present at least once a month in Lions and Legends. And why does that grow me? That grows me as a presenter. That grows me as an educator. That grows me as a person that is passionate about giving value to others. I got to prepare these presentations. I'm committed to presenting. So that's part of my growth plan. It's also, I go to conferences. Kimberly and I go to meetings. We do things that grow us as leaders. So what does your growth plan look like? You need to write that down. What conferences are you going to? What masterminds are you going to attend? And it doesn't have to cost money. There are so many online options. Look at the value that Kimberly gives in Lions and Legends by being the, creating this platform. So there's lots of those. Be intentional. Guys, growth doesn't just happen. You have to pursue it. You have to pursue it with intention. That's why, Kimberly and I, we were raised in the business world. If it's not on your calendar, it does not exist.
Yeah.
Right? So if your growth plan isn't created, you don't have a vision for it, and it's not in your calendar, guess what you're not going to do when the world throws you a pivot, when the world throws you a change tomorrow afternoon? Guess what you're not going to do? You're not going to show up for that mastermind call that was on Zoom that you thought was going to be really good and you were going to really grow from it. You're going to go deal with something, a phone call, because that's just what you're going to do because it's not on your calendar.
Yeah.
So think about this. What's your morning and evening routine look like? That's part of your growth plan. That is for me. My morning routine looks like I get up early, I meditate, I journal, I read part of the book that I'm reading at the time, and then I go to the gym. My day doesn't start till 8 a.m. as far as the business world is concerned. I do not turn my phone on. That is my time. And that time in the morning is my sacred time. That's me.
And he's not kidding, because my best hours are between 5 and 8 in the morning to get stuff done. And it annoys me to no end that he doesn't start until 8 because I'm like, hey, what about this? What about this? What about this? And then I'm like, waiting. So he's not kidding when he tells you this. This is legit.
And I'm going to tell you this. That's my sacred time. Your sacred time might be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. I don't know. Like, you take that time when you need it, but I'm going to tell you, you need that time. You need to find that time that fits into your schedule and into your soul that will feed you. Because what do you think I'm putting into my body during that time? I'm putting in premium unleaded octane.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. And I do it in the evening. My next day starts at the end of my day when I clear out my desk. I make my list for the following day. I get organized and I get intentional before I go to sleep. And I tell my unconscious to go do something for me. If I've got a presentation the next day, hey, help me think of something I'm missing to offer to that group. I just ask it to help me with something. And then I go to sleep. And it might be something as silly as like, I want to have a good workout in the morning. I want to have a good conversation with Kimberly. We're going to do a planning session for something. But that morning, evening routine, guys, how you go to sleep is how you wake up. So how do you want to wake up? Think about that. Think about progress over perfection. Nobody's trying to be perfect here. I'm not saying I do it perfect. I'm just a work in progress. So think of progress over perfection. Like just get out there and do it. Like just get better every day. That's all you want to do. Just get a little bit better every day. And once again, growth doesn't just happen, it's pursued. Pursue your growth.
It's good.
All right. Our final step, and we're gonna clip along here, is through action. Empowerment through action. Action transforms mindset into momentum. Guys, your mindset is the piece that is the fuel for your action. Do you see why your mindset is so important? Because otherwise you just get ready to get ready. How many of you have known the person? Boy, they're going to get ready to get ready. And Kimberly, did I tell you my business cards? I've redone them 75 times. They're amazing. And my website has been redone 17 times as well. It's super amazing.
Yep.
Oh, but you know what? I have no money because I have no clients. Guys, you gotta get out of that mode. You gotta go. People, confidence comes from doing. Doing. Progress over perfection. And the map. What am I doing? What actions am I doing? We're going to help you with that next week, but confidence is built by doing, not knowing. Guys, I don't care about the how. On that map, we need to have some things mapped out of what we're going to do, but it may not be how we end up doing it. It may not be how you end up ending up. So I want you to just start thinking about actions that could move your business forward. And we're going to talk more about that on our business plan, but start thinking about that when I talk about the map. How are you going to get to the goals that you have set for yourself? How are you going to get to the vision? So think about that, because this isn't all woo-woo. This isn't like I got a good mindset and it's all coming to me. Here we come. Kimberly, bring it on. Here we come. I'm going to close 20 deals this year. Bring it on. No, we got to take action. We can't just sit in the corner and be like a guru and think it's coming to us. That's part of it. But the bigger part of it is taking action. It's where action and mindset meet is the momentum that's going to give you the trajectory to get you to where you want to be, to get you to your vision, to get you to your goals. All right. So
Yeah.
just a recap of Reshape, we're going to secure, hone, acknowledge, pursue, and empower.
It's good.
Okay. We got about 5 minutes left, Kim, and I want to toss out here. I'm gonna jump off of this. What I want to task everyone with for next week, because we're going to be back at the same time next week. I'm going to be here. Kimberly's going to be here. We're going to send out what Kimberly and I like to use as a one-page business plan. It is super easy to fill out. It is literally 2 pages. It comes with some instructions. It's very intuitive, but it's going to help you with your vision, your why, your actions, and your goals. Guys, it's going to talk about everything we talked about today, and it's going to all start coming together. But I need you to commit to doing this homework between now and next week so that we can have a really powerful conversation around this. And we're either going to email those, Kimberly and Karen. I don't know how we're going to get it to everybody, but I don't know how we're going to do that. I'm going to leave that to you guys. But so that's what next week's going to look like. Okay. Any questions? We got a couple of minutes, Kimberly.
Do we have a link that we can just put in the chat for these guys?
I don't.
I think Karen, the queen, will have one.
I was going to say,
We've got PDFs that we can email or stick
Could
in
we-
the Facebook group.
Oh, that's a
Karen,
good
could we
suggestion.
put the PDFs in the link and let them grab them off? I mean, in the chat?
It won't let me.
Okay.
Okay, so if you want a copy of this, yeah, Raquel did it. So put your email address in there real quick. We'll, Karen, I won't close this out till you have a chance to capture them. And then we can email it to you. It's
And
an
guys,
easy,
this
simple
is-
one pager that
it's
Sharon
so
put together.
easy.
It's super easy.
It's so easy. It's so powerful though. And guys, if you're not thinking about your 2026 Q1 business right now, you're already behind. And I don't say that to scare you or discourage you, but we want you to be the top 20% of agents in your market. That's our sole goal. 80% of the business is always done by 20% of the agents. And we want you to be that 20% that's producing, that's reaching your goals, that's getting to your vision. And so that's always our intention here. So I encourage you to really, really take some time to do this. It won't take you long. And what's cool is that the last piece starts bringing all the other pieces together in the one planner, the one pager, and it really pulls it together so beautifully and gives you such a
Good.
clear vision, gives you goals, gives you the map to get there.
Reagan, the
Yeah.
thing that this really did for me, I think everybody right now is trying to find artificial intelligence to fix everything.
Mhm.
And what we really
That's
have to do is start with real intelligence first.
Yes, yes. Well said, Susan.
Yeah.
And AI can be a beautiful assistance, a beautiful tool, but you're right. We got to keep it real. You got to get real with yourself. Like, I mean, you got to get this right.
Yeah.
This thing right here, your most valuable asset, will be your tool that will take you anywhere you want to go in business and in life. So you can apply anything we talked about today. It applies to all areas of your life. You can
Yeah.
apply it to relationships, to your business, however that looks like.
And no one likes an artificial friend anyway, by the way.
No,
Real people
no.
are
Even
more
if you
better.
give it a name, that's no good. That's no good.
Great. All right, Reagan, thank you so much. This was really good. I took a bunch of
Okay.
notes. I
I
love
hope it
that.
was helpful and valuable for
Yeah.
everyone.
And then next week we will walk through the business plan so that you don't just have, superfluous homework, but that we do this and we help you get a grip, because the whole purpose of Lions and Legend is community, but it's community in this business. And so our intention is to help you move from agent to entrepreneur. You run a business. And so that's what we're trying to do here. So anyway, thank you very much. Appreciate you so much.
Of
Do you have any
course, my
last words you
pleasure.
want to say, Riggs?
Well, I just want to leave everyone with this, that the power of mindset and the power of planning and getting your map together is going to exponentially help you reach your goals in 2026. Guys, I think we're going to continue to see a challenging year in real estate, a different year, a year times we haven't seen. But this is what I know. And I am not a fearmonger, and I do not teach from a fear platform. What I know is that every market has an opportunity, and I think there's going to be huge opportunities for those agents that get right in their head and get right on paper. And that's
Yep.
this. And just put your blinders on and go for it. I'm telling you, I believe that with every ounce of in my body.
Yep. Yep.
So it's an exciting time. So I want everyone to not fear. I want you to get excited, know there's opportunities, and know it can be the best year you've ever had in production.
Oh, by far.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes.
Love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much.
All right, guys. Y'all
All
have a great
y'all,
day. We'll see
Have
y'all
a
next
super
week.
you guys. Karen, I assume you've got everybody out. in terms of their contact info.
I do.
Awesome. Thank you, my sweet.
You're
Thank you all
welcome.
so
Thank you,
much. Look
Karen.
forward to next Monday.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.